Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, I know I mentioned in episode 3 that we'll be starting the mock battle soon, but if you recall, I did mention that I wanted to do a little let's read. So if I have to, I'll make this video like a episode 3.5 or 4.5, if that makes any sense. Hopefully these videos won't last too long. If possible, I want to make them even less than 10 minutes. But other than that, my excuse really is like I figured since this is a RPG game, there's going to be like little moments of the game that you have to like read like little codex entries or like books, etc. And personally, I want to do that just to show offs. And number 2, I'm sure there's a few friends out there who are interested of reading codex entries or lore and all that. So, without further delay, let's go ahead and read up the first 2 books, or rather the first book, that being The History of Fódlan, Part 1. In the tyranny of the ruthless disorder, the people endured a long period of suffering. The vile nemesis who proclaimed himself the king of liberation delighted in war and bloodshed. Rather than rebelling against his persecution, the people of Fódlan fell to his depths in a mad scramble to attain power through murder and death. 41 years before the founding of the Andrastian Empire, Saint Seros appeared in the land of Onbar, and through the many infallible miracles she performed, she spread light across the land. In doing so, she joined the shattered hearts of the purest people of Fódlan, who went on to form the Holy Church of Seros. Imperial Year 1, the founding of the Andrastian Empire. In the first year of our calendar, the glorious Andrastian Empire was founded. Its name was gifted by an oracle, and its future blessed by the goddess. Its capital, Onbar, was chosen to govern the southern reaches of Fódlan, where the divine Saint Seros also lent her power. Imperial Year 32, the Lord of Heroes. William Paul Hansberg, the initial Andrastian emperor who raised an army in pursuit of the unification of Fódlan. With his might, he hunted and destroyed any house territory that dared to seek more power. Imperial Year 46, the Battle of Grandir. An intense battle erupted on Grandir Field, where the houses that allied with Nemesis and the Imperial forces of the Andrastian Empire clash. There, the Imperial forces emerged victorious. Imperial Year 91, the Battle of Telion. The houses that were allied with Nemesis once again faced off against the Imperial forces. This time, at Telion Plains. There, the evil Nemesis finally fell and the Empire secured a momentous victory. Imperial Year 98. The War of Heroes ends. The successor of great Emperor William I, Lucian I, succumbed to sudden illness. The empire which ruled over the majority of Fódlan took this opportunity to put an end to the seemingly endless fighting. Alright, on to the next. History of Fódlan Part 2. Imperial Year 721, the First Mark War. The Dagdon army, invaded from across the sea. Though the Imperial forces resisted, they attacked and drove off the enemy. The lands of Mark sustained considerable damage. Imperial Year 728, the invasion of Brigid. The Empire invaded the Brigid, a land occupied by allies of Dagda. A peasant of their refusal to surrender, the people of Brigid were relegated to the life of imperial subjugation. Imperial year 731, the invasion of Dagda. With the boon of a strong foothold in Brigid, the Empire mounted a large-scale invasion of Dagda. However, the fortunes of war were not on their side, and their attack failed. Imperial year 747, the Fargris Rebellion. Lung, a descendant of one of the houses that quarreled with the Empire, raised an army to demand independence, pulling the land of Fargis into fierce rebellion. This clash came to be known as the War of the Eagle and Lion. Imperial year 751, the founding of the Holy Kingdom of Fargis. Lug and his resistance army were victorious over the Imperial forces. The Holy Church of Seros mediated between the two, and Fargis secured a hard-won independence as the Holy Kingdom of Fargis. Imperial year 801, the Leicester Rebellion. The rebellion broke out in the imperial lands of Leicester, which the imperial army were unable to suppress. The Holy Kingdom, viewing the uprising as an opportunity to increase its own political sway, occupied the Leicester region, formally declaring its territory of Fargis. Imperial year 861, Fargis divided. Following the death of King Clouds I, 3 princes became archdukes and split the Holy Kingdom of Fargis, that they may rule over as its 3 separate territories. Imperial year 881, the Crescent Moon War. The Archduke ruling over the Leicester region of the kingdom succumbed to illness. The lords of the Leicester lands refused to acknowledge the next Archduke in line, instead plotting to rule jointly as an alliance. Imperial year 901, the founding of the Leicester Alliance. The Leicester Alliance was officially formed after a subjugation of hostile nobles and the removal of all opposing forces in the regions of Fargis. The influential figure of the outset, Duke Radian, was inarguably the heart of the newly formed alliance. Imperial year 961, the Emblem invasion. Did I say that correctly? Maybe. Anywho, the great eastern nation of Almra, crossed through Fódlan's throat and invaded Alliance territory. The Empire dispatched troops in order to help conquer this threat, and the attackers were barely driven off. Imperial 1101, the construction of Fódlan's Locket. To defend against future Almran invasions, the Alliance, the Kingdom, and the Empire joined their efforts and resources to construct the indomitable fort known as Fódlan's Locket. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the history of Fódlan. I hope you enjoyed this little Let's Read video I'm planning to do on this playthrough of mine. But other than that, please leave a like, comment on what you think of the history of Fódlan. And if you're planning on sticking around on my 3 houses playthrough, please sub to the channel. And I will see you in the next episode where we start the mock battle. Anywho, see you there. GG, ladies and gentlemen.